Everyone says they're lazy. You've said it. I've said it. We scroll through our phones, binge another show, skip the workout, delay the dream, and then we call ourselves lazy. But what if the problem isn't laziness at all? What if your brain isn't broken? It's just overstimulated. In the next few minutes, you'll see why modern life is perfectly designed to fry your motivation, and how you can reclaim the deep focus your brain was built for. Let's start with a hard truth. Your brain isn't wired for the 21st century. It evolved in a world of scarcity. Few choices, slow feedback, real consequences. Now, it lives in a world of infinite stimulation. Endless options, instant rewards, zero silence. And that's the trap. Every notification, every short video, every email is a tiny hit of dopamine. The more hits you get, the less sensitive your brain becomes. You're not lazy, you're numb. Your brain has been hijacked by constant novelty. Think about it. You used to feel a spark reading a good book. Now, that same book feels slow, boring, too quiet. That's not laziness. That's your attention span eroding under overstimulation. Here's what most people don't realize. The brain doesn't just crave pleasure. It craves contrast. When you flood your brain with artificial highs, quick dopamine spikes from social media, sugar, noise, normal life starts to feel flat. That's the dopamine drought. A walk in nature, a deep conversation, learning something new, all the things that used to fulfill you, now can't compete with the endless scroll of instant gratification. It's not that you've lost motivation. You've just lost sensitivity. And when motivation fades, discipline becomes harder, because discipline relies on the ability to tolerate boredom. But your brain has forgotten how. Imagine a glass of water that's always being filled but never emptied. That's your mind. You wake up and immediately check your phone. Emails, messages, headlines, chaos. By 9 a.m., your brain is already full. No space left for deep thought. No silence for reflection. No boredom to spark creativity. You think you're tired from work or lack of sleep, but you're actually tired from input overload. Your brain was never designed to process thousands of micro-stimuli before breakfast. And so it shuts down. You procrastinate, you scroll, you call it laziness. But what's really happening is that your brain is trying to protect itself from overstimulation by disconnecting, a survival mechanism disguised as apathy. Here's a radical idea. Boredom is your brain's way of asking for space. When you let yourself be bored, truly bored, your mind shifts from consumption to creation. Remember being a kid, staring at the ceiling, daydreaming whole worlds into existence? That was boredom, and it was fuel. Now, the moment boredom appears, we smother it with screens. We never let the mind wander long enough to stumble upon insight. But here's the paradox. The deeper your boredom tolerance, the stronger your focus becomes. Boredom isn't the enemy of productivity, it's the gateway to it. Most people try to fix overstimulation with a weekend detox. Delete the apps, turn off the phone, light a candle, journal. Then Monday comes, and everything resets. The truth is, detoxing isn't enough. You don't need to escape the modern world. You need to retrain your brain to exist within it. Start with friction. Make distractions harder to access. Put your phone in another room. Use website blockers. Turn your devices grayscale. Your environment should make the good things easier, and the bad things harder. Because willpower is weak, but design is strong. We live in what I call the depth economy. Shallow attention is everywhere. Deep attention is rare, and that makes it powerful. In a world addicted to stimulation, the person who can focus, truly focus, holds a superpower. Think of your attention like currency. Every scroll, every click, every just one more episode is a withdrawal. But deep work, meaningful creation, learning, those are your deposits. Over time, the interest compounds. You stop chasing quick hits and start building long-term satisfaction, the kind that doesn't evaporate the second you put your phone down. If overstimulation is the disease, stillness is the cure. Stillness doesn't mean doing nothing. It means being fully present in what you're doing. Drinking your coffee without checking your phone. Walking without earbuds. Letting silence stretch. At first, it feels uncomfortable, even painful. Your brain will scream for input, but stay with it. On the other side of that discomfort is clarity. Ideas start to surface. Energy returns. And for the first time in a long time, you can actually feel time passing again. You don't need more motivation. You need less noise. Your mind already knows what it wants to do. Create, connect, explore, but it can't be heard over the constant static of distraction. When you remove overstimulation, something magical happens. Your natural drive resurfaces. Not forced, not faked, real. The kind of energy that doesn't come from caffeine or self-help quotes, but from alignment, when what you do finally matches what you value. Here's how to start rewiring your brain back to focus. The 30-minute rule. Spend the first 30 minutes of your morning offline. Let your mind wake up before your phone does. Single tasking. Do one thing at a time, even small tasks. Input. Fasting. Have no consumption hours daily, no videos, no podcasts, no music, just thinking. Micro wins. Don't wait for massive progress. Small, consistent focus builds real momentum. Sensory reset. Replace screen time with real sensory input. Sunlight, movement, texture, breath. These are not productivity hacks, they're neural recalibrations. Each small step brings your dopamine baseline back to normal. And slowly, life starts to feel rich again. You were never lazy. You were just drowning in noise. And the moment you start creating space for silence, for boredom, for depth, you remember what it feels like to actually want things again. Time slows down. Focus sharpens. Life feels vivid. Not because you added more, but because you finally started taking things away. Remember, you don't need to do more to feel alive. You just need to feel again. Start today, not with intensity, but with intention. Because once you escape overstimulation, you'll realize productivity was never about doing everything. It was about finally doing what matters.